If you look closely at the first footage for Peter Parker's next chapter, there's a disturbing detail. He isn't loading cartridges into mechanical web shooters anymore. The webbing is tearing right through his own skin. In Spider-Man: Brand New Day, Peter is being stalked across New York by an enemy he can't even see. But the immediate threat is his own body, which is actively mutating against his will. Producing organic webs isn't presented as a power upgrade. Instead, the film treats it as a terrifying loss of biological control, forcing Peter to navigate a physical crisis while the city turns against him. It's been 4 years since the memory spell that erased Peter from the world. He has no access to Stark Industries funding, no billionaire mentors, and no Avengers to call for backup. Peter's current reality is total isolation. He lives broke in a cramped apartment, listening to a police scanner to find out where he's needed, because the high-tech alerts he used to rely on are gone. Without a safety net, Peter manufactures his own gear. He is 3D printing his comics-accurate suit using a salvaged fabricator. To manage this, he coded a DIY artificial intelligence, called EV, to replace his old Stark tech. Operating without a billion-dollar safety net removes the artificial constraints on how Peter fights. Without a Stark-regulated suit to pull his punches, he has to rely on a level of raw resourcefulness that makes his combat style far more unpredictable than before. Fixing a malfunctioning fabricator is one thing, but stabilizing his own failing genetics requires scientific intervention far beyond his own capabilities. That search leads him to Bruce Banner, who is currently keeping a low profile while teaching quantum mechanics at ESU. Banner isn't acting as an Avenger here. He's a grounded academic wearing a gamma inhibitor, providing medical advice to help Peter understand a mutation that is rapidly evolving out of control. Seeking out a suppressed Hulk for biological guidance highlights just how severe Peter's mutation has become. This isn't a minor glitch, it's a massive biological anomaly. While Peter's body is failing him, the city is tearing itself apart. A mob war consumes New York, driven by syndicates like The Hand and hitters like Scorpion and Tombstone. The escalating violence has drawn Frank Castle out of the shadows. The Punisher is back, applying his signature brand of lethal street justice. To capture the weight of this turf war, the production hired the Jackie Chan stunt team to design grounded, practical combat choreography for the film's fight sequences. Rather than deal with the logistical nightmare of actual Manhattan, the crew moved the shoot to Glasgow. The city's grid layout provided a flexible environment for the practical stunts and wirework required for street-level brawls. Replacing massive CGI alien invasions with tactile, bloody street fights grounds the production in a physical reality that feels entirely different from Peter's previous adventures. Meanwhile, MJ and Ned are at MIT, completely oblivious to the war back home. They've moved on with their lives, because for them, Peter Parker never existed. But Ned's engineering skills are still a factor. He's developed a spider tracker app to find New York's anonymous vigilante, hunting the hero without realizing he's tracking his forgotten best friend. However, the real danger is a villain that no one can even see, a highly powerful threat orchestrating the mob wars from the shadows. Industry reports indicate Sadie Sink has a major role in the film. While her character remains unconfirmed, many believe she is the one directing the invisible threat Peter is struggling to fight. Peter is struggling with a life erased from every mind but his own. Faced with a villain he can't even see, the pressure on his already fractured stability reaches a breaking point. The high-tech sidekick who relied on Tony Stark's armor is gone. In his place is a raw, isolated fighter trying to save a city that has forgotten his name. The title Brand New Day acts as a literal reset for the character, adapting the emotional premise of the 2008 comics to provide a fresh start for the MCU Spider-Man. Stripping away the Stark legacy is the final test required for Peter to prove he can be a truly independent hero. This standalone story is strategically placed on the MCU roadmap. It hits theaters in July 2026, immediately before the next major assembly in Avengers: Doomsday. There are already rumors that Yelena Belova appears to recruit Peter, linking this grounded street war directly to the larger stakes of the next Avengers film. Surviving this brutal, isolated crucible is the evolutionary step Peter Parker must take before he's ready to rejoin the wider MCU pantheon.